Hello, my fellow nerds. Sorry if I got loud there for a second. I am resetting up things because I've moved things and moved it back, and it's just crazy. I've had a rough go at starting this podcast because I was trying to stream live from Twitch as I was doing it, well, Twitch and YouTube, and it just would not work. And I was super embarrassed because I was muted the whole time and no one could hear me, but here I am. So, I don't have an intro, so I'm just going to give it to ya. This is the Nerd in Texas podcast. I am your host, Chanel, where I talk about TV shows, movies, books, a sprinkle of video games, and anything that you might consider nerdy. So, find me on all the social medias. I'm on Facebook and Twitter as Nerd in Texas. You can find me on Instagram as Nerd in Texas Podcast. I also have, drumroll, a Ko-fi page. It's ko-fi/Nerd in Texas. And it's where you can help support my podcast because it gets expensive. And I love doing this. And I love talking to you and interacting with you, and I have so many things to offer, like $1. You can ask me any question. $3, you can do a shout out. $10, you can choose what I talk about on this podcast. If I don't know what it is, I will research it. I will find out. I will dig into the nitty gritty and talk about it on my podcast just for you. I was also gifted a tarot deck, which is kind of random. And so I was thinking about $5 I do a tarot reading, which it has kind of absolutely nothing to do with this podcast, so it's kind of weird and random, but it would be fun though, right? At least I think so. And speaking of being gifted, Saturday I was gifted this beautiful, amazing lightsaber that I have not put down. I can't stop touching it. It's got a beautiful, sleek silver handle, and the lightsaber is color white, which is amazing. Like I said, I haven't stopped touching it. I haven't put it down. Thank you so much, Kevin, for getting this to me. You have no idea. I'm going to get it mounted on a wall next to this Carrie Fisher picture I have. If you don't know who Carrie Fisher is, she is Princess Leia. And I feel like it would be awesome mounted right next to that picture. And so I will keep you updated. And I'll post it on the social medias. So hit me up. With all that being said, let's get into this episode. I kind of didn't want to do a podcast about Bridgerton on Netflix, but so many people are asking me for it, so I'm going to do it. It's going to be 2 parts. 1 about Bridgerton, and 2 about why I don't like girly movies, especially ones on Netflix. No offense to Netflix. You know how much I love you. It's just, you're not very good when it comes to the girly movies. Get at me. I have ideas for you. So, without further ado, this is Bridgerton according to IMDb. It is wealth, lust, and betrayal set against the backdrop of Regency-era England, seen through the eyes of the powerful Bridgerton family. That's all it gives you. It doesn't give you much info. But the cast has Phoebe Dynevor. I'm not sure that's how you say it. I am very sorry if I said it wrong. And she plays Daphne Bridgerton. She was in the TV series Younger, Snatch, The Musketeers, and Waterloo Road. Her co-star is, well, would it be co-star? I don't know the terms. But the dude she falls in love with, his name is either Rage or Reggie Jean Page. He's a British actor. Pretty much all of them are British actors in this show. Like, I don't know if there's any American actors in this show. But he was in a show called Sylvie's Love, For the People, Mortal Engines, and he was in Waterloo Road as well. So those two probably already had chemistry and already knew each other and made this show super easy for them to do. No awkwardness, maybe. So Phoebe's brother, Anthony Bridgerton, or Antony Bridgerton, however you know, if you want to get technical. He is played by Jonathan Bailey. He's a British actor as well. He's the voice in many video games like Final Fantasy Shadowbringers, Anthem, and Squadron 42. He was in a TV series called Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, which is an Amazon exclusive series. He was in a series Crashing and Doctor Who, which I need to research that more. See which season and which doctor and all that fun stuff, because there's a lot of doctors in Doctor Who. Just because, like, yeah, it's a whole other story of Doctor Who. Anyways, there is also none other than Julie Andrews, who narrates the voice of Lady Whistledown. And we know Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music, Mary Poppins, The Princess Bride, which is awesome, Minions, who she's like Gru's mom and she's like mean to him and stuff. It's hilarious. I love her in Minions. It says it just said voice in Aquaman. So I'm not exactly sure who she is the voice of. Maybe she's the voice of that Kraken person, but I don't see her being like that. She was the voice of a character in Shrek, and she was Enchanted. But that's kind of hard to say. So let's get into it about Bridgerton. Bridgerton was created by Chris Van Dusen and produced by Shonda Rhimes, and it's based on the Julia Quinn's novel, The Duke and I. It is set in the competitive world of Regency era during the seasons. I kind of put air quotes as I said seasons, when debutantes are presented in court. Okay, so when they are being courted, when they are being shown off to whoever wants to, I can't even do that. So my youngest daughter, Bailey, during when lockdown first started with COVID, she talked in a British accent on Fortnite, on any video game, like Minecraft, all of them. And people thought she was British for the longest time. And so now it's stuck. Like, every now and then she'll be talking to you and she'll have a British accent and you'll be like, what? Where are you from? You know? So, it's when they're being courted, and apparently you are courted in seasons. So, if you're wife down or husband downed or whatever in the first season, then that means you're like high class, you're fancy, you're so fancy. If it takes you a few seasons, they're like, why is she so undesirable? Why doesn't anybody want her? And then you kind of fall lower down and you become a peasant because you didn't get married right away. And, you know, kind of like in Frozen when Elsa's like, you can't marry someone you just met. But apparently back then you can, and Elsa was the only one that made sense, who had any lick of sense. So, it's based on The Duke and I, which is a novel, and there's a collection of 8 novels, okay? The first season focuses pretty much on the first book of Daphne Bridgerton and finding her courtship. So she comes out and they have this great ball and she meets the queen, and the queen is like, damn girl, and like says it out loud, like, you're special. And so everyone's like, the queen talked to her, so she must be special. Hold on, my glasses are hurting my ears because my headphones. Anyways, she must be special. And, like, all the guys want her at first, but her brother, Anthony Bridgerton, is kind of, like, overprotective, and because their dad died, he is the one that has to make the decisions for the household, and he's the one who has to choose who can marry who, and he kind of like runs all these dudes off, right? So she's like, Brother Anthony, you're ruining my life. That's like, you know, 90s emo kid style, where they're like running in their room like, I just want to be in my room and listen to Avril Lavigne, okay? Anyways. So, that's what that's about. And then the guy she falls in love with, it's about him and how he doesn't want to get married and he doesn't want to play with none of that. I'm not giving you any spoilers, but let's just say at the ending, I was like, who didn't see that coming? It's like the baseline of every 90s chick flick. Like, come on, come up with something original already. Anywho, can you tell I don't really like that show? I'm sorry. I don't like Bridgerton. I tried. It, like I said, it's like the baseline of every chick flick, 90s chick flick, whatever. Like, you can just see what's gonna happen like a mile away. Anyways, so, like I said, I didn't really like it. It's like a mixture of 50 Shades of Grey and Gossip Girl. Like, I think there's an episode where Daphne and, actually, I'm not gonna tell you who, because I'm not gonna give away a spoiler. But they have sex the whole time. And, like, everywhere. Like, in a library. Well, not a library, like a public library. Like, the dude's house has a huge library. And, yeah, just they do it everywhere. And my daughter came home from school. She's in 7th grade. She's 13. And she's like, Mom, my friend said to watch Bridgerton. Can I watch it? No. And what are they doing watching it? Because I'm not, like, talking about, like, sex where it's, like, you see them doing, but you don't see them doing it. Like, basic television sex. Like, it's like, you see ass and titties. Okay? Excuse my language. But you see it. You see it all. You see positions that 13-year-olds shouldn't be watching. So I was like, hell no. What you thinking? Anyway, so it's a mixture of 50 Shades of Grey and Gossip Girl because Julie Andrews is the narrator, but she's also Lady Whistledown. And she has like a newsletter she sends out to everybody about the gossip about everybody. Like who's seeing who is rich, who is poor, who's a peasant, who gets drunk, who is, like, just the tea, about everybody. And let me tell you, I figured out who it was, because it tells you at the end who Miss Whistledown is, and I saw it, I knew it. I knew it, because this one, oh, I'm not going to tell you, but it's a savage moment that's when I was like, yep, I knew it was her. She did it with a candlestick in the library while those two were doing it in the library. Totally just kidding. But I knew who it was. So there's going to be a season 2. And it's going to be based on her brother Anthony's love life. So apparently every book is about a Bridgerton sibling. So the first one was about Daphne. The next one's going to be about Anthony and his love life. And if he'll ever get married, I kind of secretly hope he kind of, is a man whore forever. But they'll probably, like, fix him up with somebody. I don't know. We'll see. So, that's what the second season is going to be based on, is Anthony's love life, or Antony. Who's been cast as Antony's love interest? We don't know. They haven't announced it. They haven't said anything. And like I said, I don't really like Bridgerton that much, so I'm not really that invested in it. But I will keep you updated if you want me to continue to talk about Bridgerton, and if I find out. So the future seasons will be based on other siblings, because they've got big families, a bunch of kids, because all they care about is getting married and having babies, apparently. And, of course, having boys, because boys, well, you get it. So, now that that's done, I'm going to talk about why I don't like chick flicks on Netflix. If you want me to talk about one, I will still talk about one. I'll still give you the lowdown, because a lot of them are having, like, they've already have the first movie, the second movie, and third movies coming out, so I can keep you posted about that. But this is why I don't like them. They are all the same. If you watch The Kissing Booth, or what's the other one? Oh, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I actually like that one. That one was good. But, like I said, they came out with a second one, and I was disappointed, because it is the same. If you watch them, like, there's this one movie called Collided, I think. So it's Collided, The Kissing Booth, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. They're all the same. So the first one is they really like a dude, but they don't know if he likes her, and so they kind of, like, are shy and flirty a little bit and whatever, and then all of a sudden that dude is like, I really do have feelings for you, and they're like, what? I thought you only like, well, okay, pretty much, it's not exactly like that, but it's pretty much the same. And then something happens to where they can't be together, and then in the end, something happens where they're like, we should be together, and then they're together, right? So let's go to the second movie, where it's about the same thing. All of them. One of them's a bad guy, then she meets a good guy, then she has to choose, should I be with this bad guy, or should I be with that good guy? Should I be with one who, like, actually treats me good? Or should I be with the guy that I fell in love with originally? Because, well, one, he's kind of good. You know, they're not all bad. Except for Collided. He's the most toxic dude. The most toxic dude ever. And I told Bailey, if she ever brings home a guy like that, Bailey actually got in huge trouble for watching the second of Collided, because it's pretty much the same thing. A bunch of sex. And I was like... And she lied to me. Ooh, you gonna get it? Bailey told me she was watching something else, when actually she was watching this show, and she was in trouble. Anyways. And so, you know, something happens to where, again, they can't be together, and it was like, do I choose this guy that I should be with, and who's good to me, and not toxic, and not bad? But of course, in the end, they always choose the original dude, which is fine. You know, that's cool. But could you at least change it up a little bit? Throw a, like, plot twist in there. Like, something that we don't expect, you know? It's just crazy. So, if you catch this podcast, you can listen to me on Spotify. I haven't checked my email, so I don't know about iHeartRadio yet, so I'm going to check that pretty soon. Get at me on that. Or I'll get you. I'll get at you on that. I wanted this podcast to be about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out, so I will be doing a podcast about that pretty soon. I'm kind of trying to stick my podcast to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because Wednesdays I'm going to talk about Star Wars. Friday is going to be WandaVision. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about it on Friday when I do WandaVision. That way it's kind of like Marvel sticking with Marvel. You know what I mean? So that is it for today on my podcast. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to stream it on Twitch and YouTube. So I'm probably going to do it all over again just to try and just to see what happens. I'm kind of scared to go on live on Facebook and talk about it, but we'll see. Okay? Find me on Twitch because I get to talk and you get to chat and you get to talk to me. So, without anything more to say about Bridgerton and how I don't like chick flick movies, I hope everyone has a great hangover day after Super Bowl day, which is, today's Monday. Yesterday was the Super Bowl. Buccaneers won. Tom Brady won another Super Bowl. Like, dude, you can win a Super Bowl no matter what team you're on. We get it. Can you, move over now? I'm just kidding. I know a lot of people don't like him, but yeah. It's pretty crazy. Gotta know what's in that dude's Wheaties that he keeps winning Super Bowls even though he's going to, different teams and stuff. You know. Conspiracy Theory Monday. You never know. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day on this glorious Monday. And that you are good to people because right now, times suck. It's crazy. Be nice to people. It's not that hard. Okay, I'm kind of getting rude here. But y'all have a great day. See you later, my fellow nerds.